Hello.
Hello.
Awfully close. Hello.
Hi. How are you?
How are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm good. It's actually really nice here today in New York. It's been pretty crap weather the past few days, so it's nice to see the sunshine. So forgive me, I'm in my window. I'm like a little bit bright, trying to make it work for you guys. But
yeah, it's nice weather here today. The sun's starting to go because we're at like 5:30 now.
Yeah.
It's like midday your time.
Cocktail time for you.
Yes. Do you know I've not had a drink for 7 days?
That's really fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, is that because you just had so much over such a short period that you totally OD'd on it? Is that what happened? Because I feel like that's what happened to me because I'm not really drinking much.
I mean, you know us, we drink an awful lot anyway. But I don't know, we spent the first 4 weeks of quarantine saying, let's just get drunk at midday and keep drinking. And then it gets to the point where you've kind of worked up an immunity to it and you're drinking like 5 bottles of wine a day.
Yeah, because it's not enjoyable.
No. And then you're like, well, I can't actually afford to be drinking this much wine. So we've decided to try and take a bit of time off. So today's a week. Who knows how much longer we'll do. But it's definitely an achievement so far because we are drinkers, as you know.
Yeah, I'm like literally waving to people leaving comments. It's like, hi guys.
Paris loves you. So let's talk about Paris.
Sure.
You did Funny Girl there.
I did.
Last year. When did it end? January it ended? March
7th.
Yes. I can't remember. January is when I left.
You're like, last year.
Yeah.
You were just there.
I don't even know what day it is. Everything feels like 6 months ago now.
Sorry about the brightness, guys. Trying to fix it. But... Anyway,
okay.
Yeah, it was great. I still can't believe that we ended, our last show was the 7th.
Mm-hmm.
And it was odd. Like, we thought we'd go longer because we were extended, but we couldn't. Theater had another show coming in. So we were done March 7th, and my flight wasn't booked till the 9th. And 3 days after I left, they were like, we're closing everything down. No one can come in or out. So it's like, I just made it. And then I just really made it back to the States, too, because they started restricting people coming in. So it was perfect timing. And we're very lucky that we actually got to properly finish the production. So I don't take that for granted. That was such a lucky thing.
And it was a brilliant show, and hopefully we're going to see it again somewhere.
Yeah, we're still crossing our fingers for that. We should know shortly. This obviously, a global pandemic makes it very difficult to figure out what's going to happen with futures of theatrical productions.
And how is New York dealing with this quarantine thing? Like, you're in the center of Manhattan. Is it deadly quiet and eerie?
Yeah, let me correct some of what you might be reading or hearing our president say. New York was one of the first places to really lock down a lot. Mm-hmm. New York and California, because as you've known from any disaster movie, New York and California, particularly Los Angeles area and New York City, we have so many people so close together. Even if we all follow the rules perfectly, it's just, I mean, we're going to be the first hit because there's just too many people close together. So we were really diligent. I mean, everything that needed to close, like all the stuff that was deemed non-essential, closed down. And now you've got a very limited amount of people who are walking around for exercise, running, walking their dogs. Like, I'm walking, my dog's right here. I'm walking my dog every day, but I do it with a mask on. If I go into a store, I've got gloves on. So we're lucky in that we can walk places. We can walk to a grocery store. We don't have to get on the subway. We don't have to get in a car or go anywhere. So it makes it feel a little less like, oh my God, I'm leaving the house to go. You know, it's like we're used to leaving the house and walking, going places. But I think what's odd is that seeing the city as a ghost town, I mean, that's always the big thing because it's always so bustling with people. And it's very depressing. Our area is I live downtown in the Village, so it's a nice community. Like, I see the same people every day. We wave, we talk through the masks across the street. But we walked a little farther yesterday and walked up Broadway more towards Midtown, and that was weird because like a lot of places around the world in major cities, but prior to this, a lot of businesses had been closed because rent's too high, everything was too high. So they had the buildings and the storefronts that were already closed down. And now seeing everything closed and boarded up, I was like, gosh, who's going to come back from this? How is it going to affect the city and all of the businesses, and not just the big chains, but the, you know, the mom and pop restaurants and all that. So it's a little depressing. I mean, for everybody it is, but to see New York in this state, which is usually so bustling, is quite depressing. But it's very helpful when everybody gets out their window and claps at 7 p.m.
Yeah.
We don't have the, you know, we're not supporting the wonderful NHS like you are. Our doctors and nurses are working so hard, and they never get any credit whatsoever. So we're cheering for them and everybody else that's, you know, all the quote unquote blue collar workers that never matter at all. They're exactly the people that are saving our lives right now. So
Yeah.
we're clapping for everybody, and it's nice to see that community. You know, New Yorkers are really nice. Everyone always says we're like tough and mean, but I think it's just because the people that come to visit New York are always Midtown, and Midtown is 90% tourists.
Yeah.
So basically, you're just upset with each other because
Right.
the real New Yorkers are really happy.
And how do you think this is going to affect Broadway when it's all over?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you think, like, they're not going to be, it's the same as here, they're not going to be able to reopen straight away. And even when they do, they're going to have to do some kind of distancing because people aren't going to want to sit that close together.
No, I'm more optimistic than most. I think it will come back. I think it's essential for humanity and for the economy and for New York, for Broadway to come back and the West End to come back. And I think producers are chomping at the bit to do so, as scary as it may be. And I think that they'll be really smart about it. I know there's going to be changes for everybody in so many different ways that I don't even want to begin to think about. But I think that it would be so wise for them to bring theaters back, like Zizi said, like at 50% capacity, leaving lots of space between the rows. I think there needs to be a lot of incentive to get people to come, 2-for-1 tickets, group sales, or if it's the performing arts centers that are around the country. In America, it's really hard. We don't have a good transit system. We don't have trains to get from state to state and city to city. We just don't have that except for the coast. So a lot of those theaters in the middle America, they're going to be in big trouble because they're used to bringing in talent from the coast, and you know, and those theaters, they need those outside, I should say, like performers and organizations to come in. It's going to be hard to do that. But for Broadway and the West End, which has so many productions that are already ready to go, just need to be restarted. I'm just hoping that they'll, like I said, do lots of different incentives and be smart about it and space it out. I feel like if every show comes back all at once, that's too much as well. So even launching the different shows and theaters, I mean, and from what I've read, it seems like if we all come back all at once, it's going to lead to disaster. So we all need
it might be, you know, maybe it'll work out. Maybe it'll work out nicely. You know, maybe ticket prices will go down to get people back in. And like you say, like we're spoiled for choice with shows these days, that so many shows don't get the attention they deserve because people are seeing the Phantoms and the Les Mis because they're a sure thing. So maybe it'll be nice, and maybe we will start to see, you know, shows coming more kind of a few shows at a time.
I would hope that they would do that. I think people have a reason to get out and go do something. As much as people will be afraid and have that fear a little bit, I think an equal part of them wants to get back to life and wants to be part of a community. If anything, this has made people realize how much actual human interaction is so important. And you know, it can't just be digital, and it can't just be something that I don't think it can be taken for granted anymore. That's what I think. So,
and how are you personally dealing with this? Because like a lot of people acting, their shows have been cancelled, but I remember talking to you, and like you were supposed to be going to South Africa, you were supposed to be in Australia, and you had a show in London booked. Like your life has literally stopped.
My entire life has literally stopped. Some of the stuff will be rescheduled. Some of it may not. Every single event I have, except for one, up until March of next year, has been canceled. Every single event except for one, and I'm hoping that one stays in place. It's I can tell you all. It's my symphony show in Indianapolis in November.
Right.
And we're going to see. It's my favorite thing to do, and it'd be a very lovely week run there. But even if that stays in place, I'm ready for it to change. I'm ready for them to, you know, do half capacity or half performances or something like that. It's hard because we as performers, but any artist really, our work is never consistent.
No.
So although that makes it easier for us than say someone that has a 9-to-5 job that is now just gone. I'm used to that sort of like, well, we'll see what's happening tomorrow. I'm used to that. But I'm also, because my work is so scattered, everything is meticulously planned. I hire my own musicians and they write music for me. It's like, and I pay those people accordingly based on the last gig that I've got. And it's a whole, you know, it's a big, the dominoes go up and if one will fall apart. So it's been hard. But as you can see, and as you're doing right now, everybody has been so creative. Everybody affiliated with the performing arts has been so, I should say, it's not just like aggressive, it's like the wrong word, but like productive and forward thinking. That in my opinion now, there's like too much content. Everyone's like, Christina, when are you doing a live stream? I'm like, when I have time to watch the 20 on my list that I have missed today because I said yes to helping someone film a charity benefit. So it's like, I'm really busy. I mean, I kept saying, I'm like, why am I so stressed out? I don't even have to wake up for anything, but each day, there are so many people I want to support by watching their work. There are so many people I want to support by helping a cause like the Actors Fund or TDF, and smaller theaters that I've worked at that are doing little video fundraisers. I mean, my day is filled in front of, it's not on right now, but in front of this circle light that is in front of me. It's like, this is my new office. And it's funny because I'm used to doing a lot of home videos and it's crazy. Not a lot of equipment, but a lot of wigs here at the house. So, quite entertaining dinners. I'm pretty much become Moira Rose. But I definitely wish that I had more recording equipment, more filming equipment, because this might be very important for auditions or for just keeping yourself active and in the public eye. So I see a lot of people that have never done any sort of home video before, any sort of online live performance. They're messaging me and saying, what do I buy? What do I do? And it's all sold out on Amazon. So it's a little nerve-wracking. But I mean, I've never
done an Instagram live like this before. Like, I'm not very good at talking to the camera, and you know, I'm not very interesting and energetic. So even to do something like this is like, you get to the point where you're like, well, I have to do something. And, you know, what is it that I can do that maybe other people will enjoy? But it's a weird time. Now we've only got a couple of minutes, and you are known for your impressions. First and foremost, you became a YouTube viral sensation 7-8 years ago. Maybe?
I keep forgetting. Yeah, like 2014, I think. Yeah.
So I thought maybe, and I said to you last night, do you want me to tell? I said to you last night, do you want me to tell you who I'm going to say? And you said no. So Christina has no idea what I'm about to throw at her. But I thought I could give you some names, and you could give us some quarantine self-isolation advice.
Oh God, that's hard. See, that's not just the impression. That's me being clever. I'm not that clever.
Okay, let's start with an easy one. How would Celine Dion encourage people to wash their hands?
Well, hello, my friends. I have to say I'm so happy to be here on the program because, well, I am quite a fan. Everybody wants you to sing happy birthday when you wash your hands. But for me, I like to sing near, far, wherever you are. I believe that we're not far enough away. Back away, because Celine must stay safe.
I've just remembered, I had a dream about you the other night.
Oh, you did?
We were in New York, or I was in New York getting married. Celine Dion was singing our first dance. She sang My Heart Will Go On in a full, like, fireman's mask, because she didn't want to get coronavirus.
I knew that. I just knew that somehow.
And then, like, I'm going to cut this story very short, but you sang Don't Rain on My Parade on, like, a 6-lane highway, and you kept going in and out of all the traffic.
That's fantastic.
I'll tell you the whole story another time. Okay.
If me and Celine Dion are in your dream together, everything seems to be right in the world.
It was good. And we were at Joe's Pub in New York.
That makes sense. Favorite spot.
Adina Monsoon from AbFab must be going mad right now, being stuck at home. What do you think she's saying?
Sweetie, I don't have any more body, darling. I don't know what to do. I just don't have any more body, and I don't have any more, you know, I just don't know what to do. Like, pull my hair out, darling. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Am I going to have to talk? Am I going to have to talk? Just happy. I can't bear it, Donna. I can't bear it. I can't do it.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, we're going to leave it there. Thank you so much. It's always lovely to speak to you.
I'm very happy to talk to you, and thanks for doing this because it's super fun, and we all appreciate it. So thank you.
We all need something right now. I think everybody in the creative industry is just thinking, what can I possibly do?
Yeah.
And
stay positive, because once people go negative, it just spirals downward, and it's not going to do any good. So we got to be forward thinking.
All right, take care. I'll speak to you soon.
Bye, Annie. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.